Hello? I was just trying to let that song go on while I was getting other stuff done. Hello, hello, welcome everyone. I know it's very quiet right now. Don't worry. Skeet smell jackalope time. I- yes? Hi. Um, Hold on, let me get on the screen real quick. I'm kind of lost. There, there we go. Hi. Took me a second. Sorry, I had to get a bunch of stuff all situated. I was actually for once trying to be very good with, you know, with tech stuff. And I think I did okay. Hi, Mochi. Hi. But hi, everybody. How are you all doing today? It feels like it's been a minute since we've been in an ASMR stream. I know it really hasn't, but, it feels like it. Lost, I wasn't in those eyes. That's so cute. Yeah, you can definitely get lost in those eyes. My, be right back screen eyes. But hi everyone, I hope you're all doing good. I know I said that already, but I wanted to say it again. I know we haven't done it in a long time. Hello. I, what made me first start doing ASMR streams was, reading stories and all that. So, I'm trying to bring story time again, which means I'll be going back to my library and getting more books. But I wanted to reread the Lost Odyssey stories, so that way we can continue on. Because I'm still trying to get more stories in that game. I actually played a little bit today to get a couple more stories, so we got a few more now. I just had some chicken nuggies. Oh wait, you were there for those stories? I don't know. I thought you weren't. I thought you were gone around that time frame. But yeah, we're going to reread them just cuz we have some new people now. And might make you guys cry a little. But again, we're going to try to continue on with those short stories, and I'm going to try to beat the game so I can get all the little stories in it. I thought you were. I thought that was around the time frame you were on your vacation, actually. I could have sworn you were. Oh no, not cry. No. Oh no, you guys are gonna cry with me. You have to also tell me when you cry, okay? That's the rule of this game. If you cry, you have to give me an emote of you crying, okay? That's how we're gonna play this game with me. Just so I know I'm probably not gonna be the only one. I don't know if I'll cry again, because I've read them, but who knows, I could. I have a very empathetic heart. I'm very empathetic, so I usually do cry a lot if it's a, big story for me. Oh no, I'm listening to rather emotional music. I'm already close. Oh no. Oh no. I always watch the VODs and oh, you watch the VODs. That makes more sense now. Well, now you get to hear them live. I have my cryage ready. Good. I'm so glad. I'm so proud of all of you getting your cryage emotes ready. Okay, before we continue, let me see them all. Come on. Let me see all your little cryage emotes. I'll go first. I'll put down mine. I won't put it on, obviously, because I'm reading, but... Wait, I don't have a cryage emote. That's the first thing I need to draw. I need to draw us a cryage emote. I didn't know I had one. I thought I had one. Oh, we'll have to white people. I thought I had one. I did not know that. No, Madge doesn't work. You can't have a Madgie. You can have a Sadgie. Sadgie people cry. My emotions are out of whack. Can't cry anymore. That's okay, that's okay. Hopefully you'll enjoy the stories either way. Better? Yes. I typically don't use emotes. I prefer the old styled. I like that. The old style. Leah, no! Leah! My cousin! Hello, hello! Oh my gosh, you rated me, and now I'm even more shyer to read my stories. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, Raiders. Welcome, Leah. Also, I love your new model. I just took a Pikachu. I took a Pikachu, girl. Uh, I love it. It looks so pretty. I'm so happy for you. But hi, little Raiders. I am Ethereal Ari, but you all can call me Ari for short. I am a jackalope, as you can see, half rabbit, half deer. So a little different than Leah, but I'm still a bunny, all in the same. She is my cousin, so you know. Now we need the stories. Oh gosh, yeah. So I'm actually, I just started. I'm actually about to start reading some short stories from a game called Lost Odyssey. If any of you have ever played that game. Um, It's about it's a tale about an immortal being who has lived thousands and thousands of years, but unfortunately, for some reason, he's lost all of his memory, everything from those thousands of years, of all the different timelines he's lived in. So in the game, whenever you progress and everything, you run across certain things that bring back certain memories from the past. And those are the short stories we'll be reading. They're a cry fest. I have cried the first time we read them. But it's been a while since we read them, so we're going to try to get back to them and everything. Also, everybody, thank you so much for all the follows. I really hope you enjoy those fishy kissies. They are the best kissies you'll ever get. Mwah. But Leah, if you need to take a break and everything, I totally understand. You've been working so hard. You need all the foodsies and sleepies and whatever needsies you need. This sounds a lot like Yuki already. Yeah, it could. I do like the game. I forgot how messy it is, though. It is a little messy. No, Mochi. No, Mochi. You're gonna ruin all of the hard work I've done. No. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay. Now let me check real quick, because for some reason my card capture, I think one of the wires is freaking out. But I think it's fine. Let me check real quick. Ah! My ears. I'm also gonna have the song on for it because, you know, song makes a very powerful thing. If it's good, you're going to cry. Okay, I think it's good. So let's turn it on for you guys. There you go. And we still want it to where you guys can still hear me. Hopefully that's good enough. Let me know if you can't hear me very well, and I'll turn it down just a tad bit more, okay? But I do want you to hear the music since it does set the mood for these stories. All good, all good. I hope so, I hope so. I heard metal. No, there's no metal. I mean, the game has some metal, but we're not playing the metal part. No metal. Okay, sorry. I know, Xbox sounds. Oh, this is so scary. I was expecting only like a few viewers watching. Now I got a few more people watching. No, not upset. I love that you guys are here with me. I shy baby. What if it's really sad metal? I mean, it could be sad metal. It could be. It could go. It would make you cry so much. Alright, now then. I gotta get my stuff all set up properly so I can actually read the stories. Wow, Mike. Mike. Okay. Okay. Alright, everybody. Are we ready? We're gonna go ahead and, the first short story is called Hannah's Departure. Okay? I'm gonna do my best to try to read these with as much, I don't know, as much oomph. I don't know what you call it. Okay. Remember, everybody, if you do cry, you have to show me a sad emote, okay? That's the rule of this game that we're playing. And I do apologize if I don't read your messages. I am gonna be reading. The family members... Wait, I'm sorry. Let me take my headphones off for just a second. There we go. The family members have tears in their eyes when they welcome Kime back to the inn from his long journey. Thank you so much for coming. He understands the situation immediately. The time for departure is drawing near. Hang on, I don't know why my follow is so loud. Hang on. I need to fix that, otherwise we're gonna... I love my follow sound, don't get me wrong. But we're gonna hear it a lot. There we go, there we go. That should be a little better. Okay. I turned them down quite a bit, but they're still being silly. Might have to just turn it all the way down. I'm sorry, guys. I love my stuff. I love them, but they do need to be quiet for this. I do love this music, by the way. It's so sad. We're going to cry. Oh, we're going to cry. I hope Leah left. I don't want her to see me cry. I love her. I don't want her to see me cry. Okay. Okay, I think we're okay now. Too soon. Too soon. But still, he knows this day would have to come sometime. And not in the distant future. I might never see you again, she said to him with a sad smile when he left on this journey. Her smiling face also transparent in its whiteness, so fragile and therefore indescribably beautiful as she lay in bed. May I see Hannah now? He asks. The innkeeper gives him a tiny nod and says, I don't think she'll know who you are, though. She hasn't opened her eyes since last night, he warns Kime. You can tell from the slight movement of her chest that she is clinging to a frail thread of life, but it could snap at any moment. It's such a shame. I know you made a special point to come here for her. Another tear glides down the wife's cheek. Never mind, it's fine, Kime says. He has been present at innumerable deaths, and his experience has taught him much. Death takes away the power of speech first of all, then the ability to see. What remains alive to the very end, however, is the power to hear. Even though the person has lost consciousness, it is by no means unusual for the voices of the family to bring forth smiles or tears. Kime puts his arms around the woman's shoulder and says, I have lots of travel stories to tell her. I've been looking forward to this my whole time on the road. Instead of smiling, the woman releases another large tear and nods to Kime. And Hannah was so looking forward to hearing your stories. Her sobs almost drown out her words. The innkeeper says, "I wish I could urge you to rest up from your travels before you see her, but..." Kime interrupts his apologies. "Of course I'll see her right away. There is very little time." Hannah, the only daughter of the innkeeper and his wife, will probably breathe her last before the sun comes up. Kime lowers his pack to the floor and quietly opens the door to Hannah's room. Hannah was frail from birth. Far from enjoying the opportunity to travel, she rarely left the town or even the neighborhood in which she was born and raised. This child will probably not live to an adulthood, the doctor told her parents. To this tiny girl with extraordinarily beautiful doll-like features, the gods had dealt an all too sad destiny. That they had allowed her to be born the only daughter of the keepers of a small inn by the highway was perhaps one small act of atonement for such iniquity. Hannah was unable to go anywhere, but the guests who stayed at her parents' inn would tell her stories of the countries and towns and landscapes and people that she would never know. Whenever new guests arrived at the inn, Hannah would ask them, "Where are you from? Where are you going? Can you tell me a story?" She would sit and listen to their stories with sparkling eyes, urging them on to new episodes with, and then, when they left the inn, she would beg them, "Please come back and tell me lots and lots of stories about faraway countries." She would stand there waving until the person disappeared far down the highway, give one lonely sigh, and go back to bed. Hannah is sound asleep. No one else is in the room, perhaps an indication that she has long since passed the stage when the doctors can do anything for her. Kime sits down in the chair next to the bed and says with a smile, "Hello, Hannah. I'm back." She does not respond. Her little chest, still without the swelling of a grown woman, rises and falls, almost imperceptibly. "I went far across the ocean this time," he tells her. "The ocean on the side where the sun comes up. I took a boat from the harbor way, way, way far beyond the mountains you can see from this window. And I was on the sea from the time the moon was perfectly round till it got smaller and smaller and then bigger and bigger until it was full again. There was nothing but ocean as far as the eye could see, just the sea and the sky. Can you imagine it, Hannah? You've never seen the ocean, but I'm sure people have told you about it. It's like a huge, big, endless puddle." Kime chuckles to himself, and it seems to him that Hannah's pale white cheeks move slightly. She can hear him. Even if she cannot speak or see, her ears are still alive. Believing and hoping this to be true, Kime continues with the stories of his travels. He speaks no words of parting. As always with Hannah, Kime smiles with a special gentleness he has never shown to anyone else, and he goes on telling his tales with a bright voice, sometimes even accompanying his stories with exaggerated gestures. He tells her about the blue ocean. He tells her about the blue sky. He says nothing about the violent sea battle that stained the ocean red. He never tells her about those things. Hannah was still a tiny girl when Kym first visited the inn. When she asked him, "Where are you from?" and "Will you tell me some stories?" With her childish pronunciation and innocent smile, Kym felt a soft glow in his chest. At the time, he was returning from a battle. More precisely, he had ended one battle and was on his way to the next. His life consisted of traveling from one battlefield to another, and nothing about that has changed to this day. He has taken the lives of countless enemy troops and witnessed the deaths of countless comrades on the battlefield. Moreover, the only thing separating enemies from comrades is the slightest stroke of fortune. Had the gears of destiny turned in a slightly different way, his enemies would have been comrades and his comrades' enemies. This is the fate of the mercenary. He was spiritually worn down back then and feeling unbearably lonely. As a possessor of eternal life, Kym had no fear of death, which was precisely why each of the soldiers' faces distorted in fear, and why each face of a man who died in agony was burned permanently into his brain. Ordinarily, he would spend nights on the road drinking, immersing himself in an alcoholic stupor, or pretending to. He was trying to make himself forget the unforgettable. When, however, he saw Hannah smile as she begged him for stories about his long journey, he felt a far warmer and deeper comfort than he had ever obtained from liquor. He told her many things about a beautiful flower he discovered on the battlefield, about the bewitching beauty of the mist filling the forest the night before the final battle. Didn't turn that one off. About the marvelous taste of the spring water in a ravine where he and his men had fled after a losing battle. About a vast, bottomless blue sky he saw after a battle. He never told her anything sad. He kept his mouth shut about the human ugliness and stupidity he witnessed endlessly on the battlefield. He concealed his position as a mercenary from her, kept silent regarding his reasons for traveling constantly, and spoke only of things that were beautiful and sweet and lovely. He sees now that he told Hannah only beautiful stories of the road like this, not so much out of concern for her purity, but for his own sake. Staying in the inn where Hannah waited to see him turned out to be one of Kym's small pleasures in life, telling her about the memories he brought back from his journeys. He felt some degree of salvation, however slight. 5 years, 10 years, his friendship with the girl continued. Little by little, she neared adulthood, which meant that, as the doctors had predicted, each day brought her that much closer to death. And now, Kym ends the last travel story he will share with her. He can never see her again, can never tell her stories again. Before dawn, when the darkness of night is at its deepest, long pauses enter into Hannah's breathing. The frail thread of her life is about to snap as Kym and her parents watch over her. The tiny light that has lodged in Kym's breast will be extinguished. His lonely travels will begin again tomorrow. His long, long travels without end. You'll be leaving on travels of your own soon, Hannah, Kime tells her gently. You'll be leaving for a world that no one knows, a world that has never entered into any of the stories you have heard so far. Finally, you will be able to leave your bed and walk anywhere you want to go. You'll be free. He wants her to know that death is not sorrow, but a joy mixed with tears. It's your turn now. Be sure and tell everyone about the memories of your journey. Her parents will make that same journey someday, and someday Hannah will be able to meet all the guests she had known at the inn, far beyond the sky. I, however, can never go there. I can never escape this world. I can never see you again. This is not goodbye. It's just the start of your journey. He speaks his final words to her. We'll meet again. His final lie to her. Hannah makes her departure. Her face is transfused with a tranquil smile, as if she had just said, "See you soon." Her eyes will never open again. A single tear glides slowly down her cheek. I almost teared up. Oh, goodness. It's a good thing I already read that story. I almost cried. How is my little gems doing? Oh. You could read anything with this sad voice, I would cry, but the story was so sad. I apologize. I get very into my storytelling. I like to try to give it as much personality? Is that the right word? As possible. I've always wanted to be a storyteller, so you guys are teaching me how to be one. Hi, Battle. Welcome, welcome. Let me take a quick drink real quick. Everybody kind of wipe your little eyes, wipe your little faces. It's okay, it's okay. The final I know, it's very sad. Being immortal is not all it's cracked up to be. Like, I think that's why I like these stories a lot, is because he is immortal, and it just kind of shows you more of the sadness of being immortal. Having to say goodbye to people that you'll never get to see. It's very sad. Massive sad. Also, I saw that. I'm so sorry about that. Thank you so much for 2,000 bits. Jeez. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Candy Gamer. Thank you, thank you. I'm so sorry I didn't say anything about it. I was reading. It was very sweet of you, though. The shoe story is my fave. Oh, wait. Did we do a shoe story? Is there a shoe? I can't remember some of the stories. That's a good thing, though. It's a very interesting concept. It is. It definitely is. It's like that one anime that we've been watching, which we need to continue. Oh gosh, how are my little gems? Are you guys doing better right now? Push your faces. Push your faces. Wipe your little tears. Which anime? It is called To Your Eternity. It's the same concept. It's about an immortal being that cannot die and everything. It's very sad. I think a lot of us cried in the server with it. It still did and said, no, don't. Oh gosh. Don't die, don't die. No, don't die. Hoping for a sequel to Lost Odyssey. Hopefully, it's a very old game, so we'll have to see if that does happen. We'll have to see. Alright. And also for all the follows that just happened while I was reading. Thank you so much for them. I hope you enjoy those fishy kissies. They are the best kissies you'll ever get. Danke, danke. Oh, this is also just for Bigum. Hopefully I didn't miss any more redeems. I tried to turn off all my redeems so we wouldn't be too disturbed. Last time I didn't do that, so. Mochi, I can't. Mochi. What are you doing? What are you doing, Mochi? Alright. Are y'all ready for another story? I'll keep track. Okay, good. This one shouldn't be as tear jerky. It's still a little like all of these have a very melancholic thing to them, but a lot of them are very happy at the same time. It's a very I mean, that first story that we read wasn't technically sad if you think about it. So they're very what's the right word? I can't think of the words right now. I'm blanking out. That's okay. We'll go ahead and read the next story. Hi, Mochi. You look so mad. Words. Have you ever heard of the legendary island called Enderworld? A world on his own, a land not besmirched by any human emotions, a land of purity, innocence, and peace. Like the little pure girl in the story would be welcomed. Aw, that's sweet. I would hope she would be welcomed there. Bittersweet, thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. All of these stories are very like a bittersweet. Some are sad, but a lot are very bittersweet to them. No, I never, but that would be very sweet if the little girl could be in that. She definitely deserved it. Poor baby. Poor baby. Alright, guys. On to the next story, okay? I do apologize if I don't read your messages. It's like crying myself to sleep there. Good way to date. I don't want you to cry yourself to sleep. Sweet sour, but that's a sauce. Yes, that's a sauce. I'm half in tears nibbling on a slice of cheesecake. Oh, that's like the perfect food to eat though when you're sad. Love cheesecake. Nom nom nom. This one, like I said, this one isn't too it still has a somberish vibe to it, but it shouldn't be too no tears. But if you do cry, you have to let me know. I want to see those little tear emotes. Alright. This next one is called A Hero's Return. Alone in a crowd of rugged men, nursing his drink in the far corner of the old post town's only tavern, Kime. A single man strides in through the tavern door. Massively built, he wears the garb of a warrior. His soiled uniform bespeaks a long journey. Fatigue marks his face, but his eyes wear a penetrating gleam, The look of a fighting... I'm getting tongue-tied. The look of a fighting man on an active duty. On active duty. I hope I don't get tongue-tied. I do apologize. The tavern's din hushes instantly. Every drunken eye in the place fastens on the soldier with awe and gratitude. The long war with the neighboring country has ended at last, and the men who fought on the front lines are returning to their homes. So it is with this military man. The soldier takes a seat at the table next to Kime's and downs a slug of liquor with the forcefulness of a hard drinker, a man who drinks to kill his pain. 2 cups, 3, 4. Another customer approaches him, bottle in hand, wearing an ingratiating grin, a typical crafty town punk. Let me offer you a drink, wheedles the man, as a token of gratitude for your heroic efforts on behalf of the fatherland. The soldier unseemingly allows the man to fill his cup. How was it at the front? I'm sure you performed many valiant deeds on the battlefield. The soldier empties his cup in silence. The punk refills the cup and adopts an even more fawning smile. Now that we're friends, how about telling me some war tales? You've got such big, strong arms. How many enemy soldiers did you kill? Without a word, the soldier hurls the contents of his cup into the man's face. The punk flies into a rage and draws his knife. No sooner does it leave its sheath than Kaim's fist sends it flying through the air. Faced with the powerful united front of Kaim and the soldier, the punk runs out muttering curses. The two big men watch him go, then share a faint smile. Kaim doesn't have to speak with the soldier to know that he lives in deep sadness. For his part, the soldier, having cheated death any number of times, is aware of the shadow that lurks in Kaim's expression. The tavern's din returns. Kaim and the soldier pour each other's drinks. I've got a wife and daughter I haven't seen since I shipped out, says the soldier. It's been 3 long years. He lets himself smile shyly now, for the first time, as it takes a photograph of his wife and daughter from his pocket and shows it to Kaim. The wife a woman dewy freshness, the daughter still very young. They're the reason I survived. The thought of going home to them alive was all that sustained me in battle. Is your home far from here? No. My village is just over the next pass. I'm sure they've heard the news that the war is over and can hardly wait to have me home. He could get there tonight if he wanted to badly enough. It was that close. But the soldier downs a mouthful of liquor and groans. I'm afraid. Afraid? Of what? I want to see my wife and daughter, but I'm afraid to have them see me. I don't know how many men I've killed these past 3 years. I had no choice. I had to do it to stay alive. If I was going to get back to my family, I had no choice but to kill one enemy soldier after another. And each and every one of those men had families they had left at home. It was the code of war, the soldier's destiny. To stay alive in battle, you had to go on killing men before they could kill you. I had no time to think about such things at the front. I was too busy trying to survive. I see it now, though. Now that the war is over. 3 years of sin are carved into my face. This is the face of a killer. I don't want to show this face to my wife and daughter. The soldier pulls out a leather pouch from which he withdraws a small stone. He tells Kaim it is an unpolished gemstone, something he found shortly after he left for the battlefield. A gemstone? Kaim asks, unconvinced. The stone on the table is a dull black, without a hint of the gleam a gem should have. It sparkled when I first found it. I was sure my daughter would love it when I brought it home to her. Sorry. Gradually, though, the stone lost its gleam and turned cloudy. Every time I killed an enemy soldier, something like the stain of his blood would rise to the surface of the stone. As you can see, it's almost solid black now, after 3 years. The stone is stained by the sins I've committed. I call it my sin stone. You don't have to blame yourself so harshly, says Kime. You have to do it to stay alive. I know that, says the soldier. I know that. But still, just like me, the men I killed had villages to go home to, and families waiting for them there. The soldier then says to Kime, you too, I suppose. You must have a family. Kime gives his head a little shake. Not me, he says. No family. A home village at least? I don't have any place to go home to. Eternal traveler, eh? Uh-huh, that's me. The soldier chuckles softly and gives Kime a sour smile. It is hard to tell how fully he believes what Kime has told him. He slips the sin stone into the leather pouch and says, you know what I think? If the stone turned darker every time I took a life, it ought to get some of its gleam back every time I save a life. Instead of answering, Kime drains the last drop of liquor from his cup and raises from the table. The soldier remains in his chair and Kime, staring down at him, offers him these words of advice. If you have a place you can go home to, you should go to it. Just go, no matter how much guilt you have, no matter how much guilt you may have weighing you down. I'm sure your wife and daughter will understand. You're no criminal. You're a hero. You fought your heart out to stay alive. I'm glad I met you, said the soldier. I needed to hear that. He holds his right hand out to Kime and grasps it in return. I hope your travels go well, says the soldier. And your travels will soon be over, says Kime with a smile, starting for the door. Just then, the punk charges at Kime from behind, wielding a pistol. Watch out, bellows the soldier and rushes after Kime. As Kime whirls around, the punk takes aim and shouts, you can't treat me like that, you son of a bitch. The soldier flies between the two men and takes a bullet in the gut. Oh, hang on. And so, as he so desperately wished to do, the soldier has saved someone's life. Ironically, it is for the life of Kime, a man who can neither age nor die. That the soldier had traded his one and only life. Sprawled on the floor, nearly unconscious, the soldier thrusts the leather pouch into Kime's hand. Look at my sin stone, will you? Maybe, he says, chuckling weakly, some of its shine has come back. Blood spurts from his mouth, strangling the laugh. Kime looks inside the bag and says, it's sparkling now. It's clean. It is, gasped the soldier. Good. My daughter will be so glad. He smiles with satisfaction and holds his hand out for the pouch. Gently, Kime lays the pouch on the palm of his hand and folds the man's finger over it. The soldier draws his last breath, and the pouch falls to the floor. The dead man's face wears a peaceful expression. The stone, however, the man's sin stone, which has rolled from the open pouch, is as black as ever. The end. Wow. How sad. How are my little gems? I'm fully. How are my little gems? I'm sorry. I know you lied. I. I mean, it, it is sad. You're right. Okay, I did lie. I'm sorry. You said this one isn't as sad. Well, it wasn't at first, right? I didn't lie about the full thing. Emotional damage. My poor little gems. Oh, Pepe sad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I hope you guys are okay. It was early on. It's okay. The ambient background sounds was spot on. I missed. What do you mean you missed? Oh, you missed the sadness? It's okay. We're about to go to another sadness. The second he started sharing his emotions, I said to myself, "You better not die." Oh, Yuki's. That's what's so hard about these little short stories. They're short, but you do get attached. And I feel like storytelling is the best thing to do it. Like, properly storytelling. I'm striving very hard to get to that point where I'm good at it. Although I am stuttering a little here and there. No, please, mercy. But they're good. They're good. I'm new and you hurt me. I'm so sorry, Spencer. Hello, welcome. Thank you so much for the follows, whoever followed while I was reading. I hope you enjoy those fishy kissies. Best kissies you'll ever get. Mm. For people who are just jumping in, hello, I'm Ethereal Ari. You can call me Ari for short. I am a jackalope, as you can see, and tonight I am your storyteller. Lots of sad stories for tonight, but they are also humble and kind stories. A lot of them have morals to them at the end, so they're not all sad in a sense. They're bittersweet. That's a good way to say it. Bittersweet is a lot of these stories. There she goes. Yeah, again for my kisses. What are you talking about? I'm not. No, my poor little gems. It's okay. It's okay. A lot of fish kisses tonight. Try to get to work. But yeah. So let's see. Oh, jeez. Thank you for gifting a sub to Lil Rabbit. I'm sure that helped Lil Rabbit not get not as many tears. Lil Rabbit crying. Don't cry. But so that one was a little shorter than Hannah's departure. So we'll go on to the next one. The next story is called White Flowers. I'm sure you can already guess with that title. It helped, yes. Oh, good. Now you can have cute emotes and no commercials. That's also the nice part about subbing right now is no commercials to mess you up while we're reading. Reduce the emotional damage. Just so I know, are these all emotionally devastating? Bittersweet is the proper way I'd like to say it. They are bittersweet. They may be a little emotional, but they do have a nice kindness to them. So, just say yes. Just a little. Don't worry. There'll be some happy ones, I'm sure. There'll be some happy ones. She's making us cry on purpose. No, I'm not. Remember, guys, you gotta do our little game. The game is called Throw an Emote When You Cry. Literally, if you're crying, you gotta throw an emote. Just so I know. That's the rules. So, yay, I did. I missed it. Alright. You guys ready for the next story? Little eyes all dried now. Good. Got your snackies. Got your good for you stuff. No. Yes. I feel so bad, little rabbit. You're going through a little emotional trait. It's so cute. I'm so sorry. Cheesecake. Y'all are my brave little gems. Do you know that? My such brave, sweet gems. Don't worry, don't worry. Little Ari's here for you, okay? Let me do it for you. Let me do it for you. I got this. Begin. Okay. We got our tough little gems out right now. Everybody's all ready. Get your brave faces on. Puff up your chests, okay? Get all brave. Okay. Next story is White Flowers. Lovely white flowers mark the town. They bloom on every street corner, not in beds or fields set aside for their cultivation, but blending naturally and in profusion with every row of houses, as though the buildings and the blossoms have grown up together. The season is early spring, and snow still lingers on the nearby mountains, but the stretch of ocean that gently laps the town's southern shore is bathed in refulgent sunlight. This is an old and prosperous harbor town. Even now, each day it piers see many cruise ships and freighters come and go. Its history, however, is sharply divided between the time before and the time after an event that happened one day long ago. People here prefer not to talk about it, the watershed engraved upon the town's chronology. The memories are too sorrowful to make stories out of them. Kaim knows this, and because he knows it, he has come here once again. Passing through, the tavern master asks him. At the sound of his voice, Kaim responds with a faint smile. You're here for the festival, I suppose. You should take your time and enjoy it. The man is in high spirits. He has joined his customers in a glass after glass until now and is quite red in the face. But no one shows any signs of blaming him for overindulging. Oh no! Uh-oh! Oh. Okay. Well, oh shoot. Give me 1 second. What just happened? So bright. Yeah, that's not supposed to happen. What? Hello? Oh, my whole VTube studio shut down. I noticed a couple other VTubers today were telling me that, or were saying that their streams were messing up too, or their VTube studio. Intermission. Might be a good thing. You guys can take a small breather. Okay. Hang on 1 second. Okay, let me see now. Oh, nope. That is still not working. Where are we? Do I need to take out all of Shoost? Apparently. I'm sorry. It was working. I didn't mean for this to happen. No, I'm sorry. This is not my fault this time. This is actually my, this is literally my VTube studio just being a butt. Like I said, it was messing with a bunch of other people too, apparently. Just not wanting to work. And now an ad will be... That's true. An ad actually would be okay right now. We need an ad. Where are they? I need it. There we go. Okay. Alright. I think we're kind of back. Let me just. I gotta tweak everything back. Darn it. Darn it. Okay. I'm not gonna like. Did that. Did that. Okay. We won't. Okay. Let me make sure. Okay. We're back. Okay. Oops. I'm so sorry about that, guys. It's too depressed from listening to the story. Yes, my poor. It decided to quit working because the stories were just too heartbreaking. Okay, everything should work now. Okay. Okay, I think we're good now. And my cord decided to freak out too, so everything wanted to break all at once. I think we're okay now, though. Okay, am I back? Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Hi, hi. Sorry about that. That was very embarrassing. You never want that to happen to you during stream, but you know, can't really avoid that kind of stuff that happens. Okay. I actually am going to get a little closer to you guys. I feel like storytelling is nicer when I'm closer. It does happen. It does happen. I just always hate when it happens. I'm like, no, not me. but it makes sense. All right. I think we're back. Let me make sure my mic, not my mic, but my game is working. Okay. It was making that terrible sound, but it's working again. I need to get a new USB cord for it, but it needs like a specific one, so I gotta figure out what cord it needs. Okay. Good break. So sorry, guys. Now then, where were we? Let's see. Oh yes. Every seat in the tavern is filled and the air reverberates with laughter. Happy voices can be heard now and then as well from the road outside. The entire town is celebrating. Once each year, the festival has people making merry all night long until the sun comes up. I hope you've I hope you've got a room for the night, sir. Too late to find one now. Every inn is full to overflowing. So it seems. Not that anyone would be foolish enough to spend a night like this quietly tucked away under the covers in his room. The tavern master winks at Kime as if to say, not you, sir, I'm sure. Tonight, we're going to have the biggest, wildest party you've ever seen. And everybody's invited, locals or not. Drink, food, gambling, women. Just let me know what you want. I'll make sure you have it. Kime sips his drink and says nothing. Because he is planning to stay awake all night, he has not taken a room, though he has no plans to enjoy the festival either. Kime will be offering up a prayer at the hour before dawn when the night is at its darkest and deepest. He will leave the town, sent off by the morning sun as it pokes its face up between the mountains and the sea, just as he did at the time of his last visit. Back then, the tavern master, who a few minutes ago was telling one of his regular customers that his first grandchild is about to be born, was himself just an infant. This one's on me. Drink up, says the tavern master, filling Kime's shot glass. He peers at Kime suspiciously and says, you did come for the festival, didn't you? No, not really, says Kime. Don't tell me you didn't know about it. You mean you came here by pure chance? Afraid so. Well, if you came here on business, forget it. You'll never get serious talk out of anybody on a special night like this. The tavern master goes on to explain what is so special about this night. You must have heard something about it. Once a long, long time ago, this town was almost completely destroyed. There are two kinds of events that divided history into before and after. One is the birth or death of some great personage, a hero or a savior. The other is something like a war or plague or natural disaster. What divided this town's history into before and after was a violent earthquake. It happened without warning and gave the soundly sleeping people of the town no chance to flee. A crack opened up in the earth with a roar, and roads and buildings just fell to pieces. Fires started, and they spread in the twinkling of an eye. Almost everyone was killed. You probably can't imagine it. All I know is what they taught me in school. And what does Resurrection Festival mean to a kid? It was just something that happened once upon a time. I live here, that's all it means to me. So a traveler like you probably can't even imagine, or can't even begin to imagine what it was like. Is that what they call this holiday? Resurrection Festival? Uh-huh. The town was resurrected from a total ruin to this. That's what the celebration is all about. Kime gives the man a grim smile and sips his liquor. What's so funny? The tavern master asks. Last time I was here, they were calling it Earthquake Memorial Day. It wasn't a festival for this kind of wild celebration. Or celebrating. What are you talking about? It's been the Resurrection Festival ever since I was a kid. That was before you were old enough to remember anything. Huh? And before that, they called it Consolation of the Spirits. They'd burn a candle for each person who died and pray for them to rest in peace. It was a sad festival. Lots of crying. You sound as if you saw it happening yourself. I did. The tavern master laughs with a loud snort. You look sober, but you must be plastered out of your mind. Now listen, it's festival night, so I'm going to let you off the hook for pulling my leg. But don't say stuff like that in front of the other townspeople. All of our ancestors, mine included, are the ones who barely escaped with their lives. Kime knows full well what he is doing. He never expected the man to believe him. He just wanted to find out for himself whether the townspeople were still handing down the memories of the tragedy, whether deep down behind their laughing faces, there still lingered the sorrow that had been passed down from their forefathers' time. Called away by one of his customers, the tavern master leaves Kime's side, but not without first delivering a warning. Be careful what you say, sir. That kind of nonsense can get you in trouble. Really, think about it. The earthquake happened all of 200 years ago. Kime does not answer him. Instead, he sips his liquor in silence. Among the ones who died in the tragedy 200 years ago were his wife and daughter. Of all the dozens of wives and hundreds of children that Kime has had in his eternal life, the wife and child he had here were especially unforgettable. In those days, Kime had a job at the harbor. There were just the three of them. He, his wife, and their little girl. They lived simply and happily. The same kind of days that had preceded today would continue on into endless tomorrows. Everyone in the town believed that, including Kaim's wife and daughter, of course. But Kaim knew differently, precisely because his own life was long without an end, and he had consequently tasted the pain of countless partings. Kaim knew all too well that in the daily life of humans, there was no forever. This life his family was leading would have to end sometime. It could not go on unchanged. This was by no means a cause for sorrow, however. Denied a grasp upon forever, human beings knew how to love and cherish the here and now. Kaim especially loved to show his daughter flowers. The more fragile and short-lived, the better. Flowers that bloomed with the morning sun and scattered before the sun went down. They were everywhere in this harbor town. Lovely white flowers that bloomed early spring. His daughter loved the flowers. She was a gentle child who would never break off blossoms that had struggled so bravely to bloom. Instead, she simply watched them for hours at a time. That year, too. Look how big the buds are. They'll be blooming any time now, she said happily, when she found the white flowers on the road near the house. Tomorrow, maybe? Kaim wondered aloud. Absolutely, his wife chimed in merrily. Get up early tomorrow morning and have a look. Poor little flowers, though, said the daughter. It's nice when they bloom, but then they wither right away. All the better, says Kaim's wife. It's good luck if you get to see them blooming. That makes it more fun. It may be fun for us, answered the girl, but think about the poor flowers. They work so hard to open up, and they wither that same day. It's sad. Well, yes, I guess so. A momentary air of sadness flowed into the room, but Kaim quickly dispelled it with a laugh. Happiness is not the same thing as longevity, he proclaimed. What does that mean, Papa? It may not bloom for long, but the flower's happy if it can open up the prettiest blossom and give off the sweetest perfume it knows how to make while it is blooming. The girl seemed to be having trouble grasping this and simply nodded with a little sigh. She then broke into a smile and said, It must be true if you say so, Papa. Your smile is more beautiful than any flower in full bloom. He should have said that to her. Kaim later regretted that he had not. The words he had uttered so carelessly, he came to realize, turned out to be something of a prophecy. Well now, young lady, he said, if you're getting up early to see the flowers tomorrow morning, you'd better go to bed right now. All right, Papa, if I really have to. I'm going to bed now too, said Kaim's wife. Okay then. Good night, Papa. His wife said to Kaim, Good night, dear. I really am going to bed now. Good night, Kaim replied, enjoying one last cup to ease the day's fatigue. These turned out to be the last words the family shared. A violent earthquake struck the town down. Oh, I can't read. A violent earthquake struck the town before dawn. Kaim's house collapsed in a heap of rubble. Kaim's two loved ones departed for that distant other world before they could even wake up from their deep sleep and without ever having had a chance to say good morning to him. The morning sun rose on a town that had been destroyed in an instant. Amid the rubble, the flowers were blooming. The white flowers that Kaim's daughter had wanted so badly to see. Kaim thought to lay a flower in offering on his daughter's cold corpse, but abandoned the idea. He could not bring himself to pick a flower. No one, no living being on the face of the earth, he realized, had the right to snatch a life of a flower that possessed that life for only one short day. Kaim could never say to his daughter, "You go first to heaven and wait for me. I'll be there before long." Nor would he ever know the joy of reunion with his loved ones. To live for 1,000 years meant bearing the pain of 1,000 years of partings. Kaim continued his long journey. A dizzying number of years and months flowed by. Years and months during which numberless wars and natural calamities scourged the earth. People were born and they die. They loved each other and were parted from the ones they loved. There were joys beyond measure and sorrows just as measureless. People fought and argued without end, but they also loved and forgave each other endlessly. Thus was history built as the tears of the past evolved gradually into prayers for the future. Kaim continued his long journey. After a while, he rarely thought about the wife and daughter with whom he had spent those few short days in the harbor town. But he never forgot them. Kaim continued his long journey, and in the course of his travels, he stopped by this harbor town again. As the night deepened, the din of the crowds only increased, but now, as a hint of light comes into the eastern sky, without a signal from anyone, the noise gives way to silence. Kaim has been standing in the town's central square. The revelers, too, have found their way here one at a time, until, almost before he knows it, the stone-paved plaza is filled with people. Kaim feels a tap on the shoulder. "I didn't expect you to be here," says the tavern master. When Kaim gives him a silent smile, the tavern master looks somewhat embarrassed and says, "There's something I forgot to tell you before." "Oh?" "Well, you know, the earthquake happened a long time ago, before my father and mother's time, even before my grandparents' generation. It might sound funny for me to say this, but I can't imagine this town in ruins." "I know what you mean. I do think, though, that there are probably things in this world that you can remember even if you haven't actually experienced them. Like the earthquake. I haven't forgotten it. And I'm not the only one." Maybe. Oops. I wasn't expecting a raid. Oh, oops. Jelly! Oh my goodness, Jelly, thank you so much for the raid. I forgot to turn off that raid. I'm so sorry, guys. Thank you guys so much for the raid, though. I hope you guys had a wonderful stream. Let me introduce myself real quick. Hello, I am Ethereal Ari, but you can call me Ari for short. I am a jackalope, as you can see. Half rabbit, half deer. Tonight we're actually doing stories and just reading stories from a game called Lost Odyssey. If you've ever heard about it, it is a story about an immortal human, an immortal man named Kaim, who has lived thousands and thousands of years, can't die or anything, but unfortunately he's lost his memories. And in the game, when you progress, you can actually find these lost memories and read the stories about them. And that's what we're doing, is reading the unlocked stories that I found so far in the game. They're very bittersweet and kind of emotional, so if that's not your thing, I do apologize. But thank you again so much for the raid. I hope you had a really wonderful one. Also, Cheese, thank you for gifting a sub to Jelly. Thank you, thank you. But yeah, I was in the middle. I'm so sorry. But Jelly, if you do need to go rest, please go take a break, go relax. You definitely deserve it after a nice long work. This is not easy, that's for sure. I'm a little more shyer now that there's more people watching. But I hope a lot of you enjoy the stories, okay? We're almost done with this one. It might not make some sense right now, but basically in this story, an earthquake happened in a town 200 years ago, and our main person, Kaim, is visiting it, where he used to live with both his wife and daughter before the earthquake happened and killed them both. He is just visiting as, as memory. It's been 200 years, so it's been a minute. We're just crying here. Yeah, my poor little gems are crying. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and continue. Where was I? It may have happened 200 years ago, but nobody in this town has ever forgotten it. We can't imagine it, but we can't forget it either. Just as Kaim nods again to signal his understanding of the tavern keeper's words, a somber melody echoes throughout the square. This is the hour when the earthquake destroyed the town. All the people assembled here closed their eyes, clasped their hands together, and offered up a prayer, the tavern master and Kaim among them. To Kaim's closed eyes come the smiling faces of his dead wife and daughter. Why are they so beautiful and so sad? These faces that believe with all their hearts that tomorrow is sure to come. The music ends. The morning sun climbs above the horizon, and everywhere throughout the town blooms countless white flowers. In 200 years, the white flowers have changed. The scientists have hypothesized that the earthquake may have changed the nature of the soil itself, but no one knows the cause for sure. The lives of the flowers have lengthened. Where before they would bloom and wither in the space of a single day, now they can. Professor Solom, thank you. I'm almost done. This is literally the last part. Hold on. I'm so sorry. Let me continue. Now they hold their blooms for 3 and 4 days at a time. Moistened by the dew of night, bathed in the light of the sun, the white flowers strive to live their lives to the fullest, beautifying the town as it's striving to live out the portion of life denied to those. The rain caught me off guard. Denied to those whose tomorrows were snatched away from them forever. Okay, that was the end. We didn't get sad stories because And Professor Solom, thank you so much for the raid. Thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to not say it quickly. I was literally almost done with the story. But hello, hello, Raiders. I am Ethereal Ari, but you all can call me Ari for short. I am a jackalope, as you can see. Half rabbit, half deer. Tonight we're actually reading some stories and everything from a game called Lost Odyssey. If you guys have heard that game before. Fight! Thank you so much for 20. We're going to take a little intermission real quick just to kind of talk to you guys. And so I can get a drink. My throat hurts. Excuse me. Also, yeah, geez, thank you for gifting a sub to Professor. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He's so sweet. But just for the new raiders to know what's going on, in the stories, our main protagonist, Kaim, is immortal. He's lived for thousands of years, cannot die, cannot age. He's lived many lives, and, that builds up. Unfortunately, though, in the game, he actually loses his memories and can't remember a single one. And during your travels, you actually can unlock the memories by doing certain things or just crossing certain paths of others. So tonight we're actually reading those memories that we've saved for him. So we've only read about like 3 of them so far. I've got a couple here. I got a good chunk. We just finished up a Sunday bonfire, and I wanted to say congratulations to Ari and the lovely community for attaining. Oh, may you touch the hearts of many more. Oh, thank you. In the days. I'm so glad you guys had a fun time, though. Bonfires are so cozy. I wish we were in a bonfire. Not in it, but you know what I mean. Oh, near it. Near one. That would be so nice. I do apologize, my little gems. I didn't think we were gonna get so many raids tonight, to be honest. So that's why I didn't change the raid thing. I'm not gonna turn down the raid full blast, but I do want to turn it down just a little. Because, raids are special. I would like those. I mean, everything's special, but you know what I mean. I would like those to still kind of be a little like, hey, listen, look at me. Doing stuff. Alright, alright. You go do your things. Go do your things, little ones. I hope my little gems are doing okay. That one wasn't too bad. Especially because we got kind of messed up here and there. Which is a shame, but it happens, it happens. And everybody who just followed or followed a while ago, thank you so much for the follows. I really do hope you enjoy those fishy kissies. They are the best kissies you'll ever get. Mm-hmm. Danke, danke. Alright. Let's go back. Let's see here. Oop. Yeah, let's see here. So the next story is going to be In the Mind of a Captive. Are you guys ready? Thank you, Miss R. You're welcome. Third one was the sad, somber one. First 2 were just brutal. Yeah, for those of you, these are very bittersweet like stories. They have a very more somberish, very more sad and everything. So if that's not your thing, I totally understand if you'd like to leave, or just But if you're okay with that, I do hope you stick around and just kind of listen along with us. There's going to be music and stuff that plays around the stories as well. As long as my USB cable doesn't freak out and make that terrible sound. It likes to do that every now and then. Stretched it. Oh, did I get a stretching? I'm sorry. Yeah, let me do that real quick. Thank you for the stretch. Before we continue on our sad yet good little journey. Thank you, thank you. Alright, little gems. Y'all ready for the next story? And for the new little gems that just came in as well, the game of this, or the rules of this game that we're doing is you have to put a sad emote down if you did cry. You have to. That's the rules. If you don't want to put, I just want to know I won't be the only one because I might cry too. So, did you know that you're a cutie? Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you were. Oh, that you were the cutie. Oh, those are cute, sad emotes. I have to draw. I'm gonna draw as a crying emote soon. I didn't realize we didn't have one. Now that my little gems know what they look like, I'm gonna attempt to draw you guys and make a little tear coming down your eyes. Oh, that'd be so cute. My little gems crying. I'll try to do that tomorrow. See how that turns out. But I think this is better. Yeah, that can work too. Just as long as I see you guys reacting somehow. Alright. What if you can't cry anymore but are sad? I mean, that's okay too. Just city. Just put a little emote saying like, just the feels. The feels. Just so I know I'm not the only one feeling the feels. Alright. Y'all ready? This one should be a little... Okay, maybe I shouldn't say this one shouldn't be as sad. I don't remember. You'd think I would remember since it wasn't that long ago, but I can't. I can't remember. Smooth, thank you so much for the follow. I hope you enjoy those fishy kisses. Best kisses you'll ever get. You lied before. I didn't mean to. Alright, we'll go ahead and get comfy wumpy. Get your cheesecakes or any other little treats that'll make you happy. Can't catch my breath. Oh. In the mind of a captive. It's our next story. He knows that it is useless, but he can't suppress the impulse that wells up from within his own flesh. He needs to do it, to hurl his entire body against the bars. It does no good at all. His flesh simply bounces off the thick iron bars. Number 8, what the hell are you doing? The guard's angry shout echoes down the corridor. The prisoners are never called by name, only by the numbers on their cells. Kaim is number 8. Kaim says nothing. Instead, he slams his shoulder against the bars. The massive bars of iron never budge. All they do is leave a dull, heavy ache in Kaim's superbly conditioned muscle and bones. Now, instead of shouting again, the guard blows his whistle and the other guards come running from their station. Number 8, what is going to take to make you understand? Do you want to be thrown into the punishment cell? Don't look at me like that. Start resisting, and all it will get you is a longer time in here. Sitting on the floor of his cell, legs splayed out, Kaim ignores the guard's shouts. He has been to the punishment room any number of times. He knows he has been branded a highly rebellious prisoner, but he can't help himself. Something is squirming deep down inside him. Some hot thing trapped inside there is seething and writhing. Some war hero you turned out to be, says one of the guards. You can't do shit in here. What's the matter, soldier boy? Can't do anything without an enemy staring you in the face? The guard next to him taunts Kaim with laughter. Too bad for you, buddy. No enemies in here. Nobody from your side either. We've got you locked up all by yourself. After the guards leave, Kime curls up on the floor, hugging his knees, eyes clamped tight. All by myself. The guard was right. I thought I was used to living alone, in battle, on the road. But the loneliness here in prison is deeper than any I've ever experienced before, and more frightening. Walls on 3 sides, and beyond the bars nothing but another wall enclosing the narrow corridor. This dungeon was built so as to prevent prisoners from seeing each other, or even to sense each other's presence. The total lack of a change in the view paralyzes the sense of time as well. Kime has no idea how many days have passed since he was thrown in here. Time flows on, that much is certain, but with nowhere to go, it simply stagnates inside him. The true torture that prison inflicts on a man is neither to rob him of his freedom, nor to force him to experience loneliness. The real punishment is having to live where nothing ever moves in your field of view, and time never flows. The water in a river will never putrefy, but lock it in a jar, and that is exactly what it will eventually do. The same is true here. Maybe parts of him deep down in his body and mind are already beginning to give off a rotten stench. Because he is aware of this, Kime drags himself up from the floor again and slams himself into the bars over and over. There is not the remotest chance that doing so will break a bar. Nor does he think he can manage to escape his way or this way. Still, he does it repeatedly. He can't help himself. He has to do it again and again. In the instant before his body smashes into the bars, for that split second, a puff of wind strikes his cheeks. The unmoving air moves, if only for that brief interval. The touch of the air is the one thing that gives Kime a fragmentary hint of the flow of time. Sorry. The guards come running, faces grim with anger. Now I can see human shapes where before there was only a wall. That alone is enough to lift my spirits. Don't these guards realize that? All right, number 8. It's the punishment room for you. Let's see if 3 days in there will cool your head. Kime's lips relax into a smile when he hears the order. Don't these guys get it? Now my scenery will change. Time will start flowing again. I'm thankful for that. Kime laughs loudly. The guards tie his hands behind him, puts chains on his ankles, and start for the punishment room. What the hell are you laughing at, number 8? Yeah, stop it. We'll punish you even more. But Kime just keeps on laughing at the top of his lungs. If I fill my lungs with all new air, will the stench disappear? Or have my body and mind rotted so much already that I can't get rid of the stench so easily? How long will they keep me locked up in here? When can I get out of here? Will it be too late by then? When everything has rotted away, will I become less a him than an it? The way our troops count enemy corpses? Kime can hardly breathe. It is as if the air is being squeezed out of his chest, and the excruciating pain of it is drawing him back from the world dream to reality. Was I once in a prison in the far, far distant past? he half wanders in the space between dream and reality. He has had this dream any number of times, this nightmare. It might even be called. After waking, he tries to recall it, but nothing stays in his memory. One thing is certain, however, the appearance of the jail and the the appearance I can't read. The appearance of the jail and of the guards in the dream is always the same. Could this be something I have actually experienced? If so, when could it have been? There is no way for him to tell. Once he is fully awake, those questions he asked between dream and reality are themselves erased from his memory. He springs up with a scream, his breath labored, the back of his hand wiping the streams of sweat from his brow. And all that is left is the shuddering terror. It is always like this. Now, too, he mutters to himself as he attempts to retrieve whatever memory is left in a remote corner of his brain. What kind of past life could I have lived through? Now, too, what kind of past life could I have lived through? The end. Wow. It's spooky. I'm gonna move things around because I noticed that I'm not looking head straight at you guys. So it looks a little weird to me. See, that one wasn't scared. It wasn't sad. I told you. Little gems. That wasn't sad. There you go. That's better. Now I look like I'm. Now I can actually read it well. Okay. Oh God, that scared me. Who did that? An anonymous gifter. Oh, anonymous gifter. Thank you so much. Gifted a sub. Thank you, danke. You're so sweet, whoever did that. Mwah. So see, you guys got a, nice calm. Not so scared, not so sad, right? Not so sad. Being in a jail sounds scary though. It does sound scary. I don't want to be in a jail either. I don't think you guys want to either, so we stay away from that. That one was much calmer. But give me 1 second. I am going to take a small little breather real quick. I just need to go close my windows because it's starting to get really dark. So hang on 1 second. 1 second. I'm not going to turn off my mic. I'm just going to go. It's raw footage. Rawness. Let me... It's only going to take me a second. There we go. Okay. Alrighty. Oh, don't forget my stretchies? Okay. Stretchy time. Oh. Sorry, you won't get to see me stretch, but I am stretching, I promise. Oh, my goodness. My little back. Actually, this is better where the stories are. I can read it a lot better with the mic not being in my way. Maybe then I'll not stutter as much. I stutter too much. One day I'll be a great storyteller. Not today though. Not today. Alright. I don't know if she even put one on. Wait, what? What ad are we seeing? Wait, alright. No, I didn't put an ad on. No, don't worry. Like I said, I just needed to pull my curtains because it's dark. You know, don't want people to. Well, it's my backyard, so nobody would. That would be creepy if somebody came into my backyard. I'm fine. Don't worry. I'm fine. Also, everybody who followed recently, thank you so much for the follows. I hope you enjoy those fishy kissies. Best kissies you'll ever get. Mm-hmm. For people who are brand new to our stream right now or just coming in, we're reading some short stories from a game called Lost Odyssey. If you've ever heard of the game, it is about an immortal being named Kaim who has lived for thousands of years and has lived thousands of different lives. Unfortunately, in the game, he loses his memory of everything, and during your travels in the game, you actually get more of his memories and help him remember some stuff. So we're actually reading those little short stories of his time alive. Apparently, we just read one where he was in prison. Not so good. Not good. But yeah, we're having a good time. Just enjoying the stories. Alright. So, the next... Oh, this is just for Spencer, by the way. It's good. Doesn't that mean good night? I can't remember. I forgot if that meant good night. I can't remember, sorry. But yes. Alright, so... Oh, it means not well. Oh, I'm sorry. Good night. Oh, wrong one. Okay. My bad. I'm sorry. I saw the G and N and I was like, oh, this close. So, the next story we're going to read is called A Mother Comes Home. This one should be good too. Or I know this one's good. It's bittersweet. Bittersweetie. All of them are though. Shall we, my little gems? Get you ready. Also, for the new little gems, just remember, the game we're playing is if you cry, you have to give me an emote, a sad emote, cry emote. Just so I know I'm not the only one that's feeling the emotes or the emotions. Alright, let's go ahead and continue on, shall we? Big breaths. The boy has lost his smile, though he denies it. Don't be silly, Kaim. Look, I'm smiling, aren't I? He draws his cheeks back and lets his teeth show white against his brown skin. If this isn't a smile, what is? Kaim nods but says nothing. He pats the boy on the shoulder as if to say, sure. Come on, really look at me. I'm smiling, right? Right, you're smiling. Anyway, forget about me. Hurry, let's go. The boy has a sweet, open nature. He made instant friends with Kaim while the other townspeople kept their distance from the strange traveler. Not that the boy chose the much older Kaim as a playmate. He leads Kaim to the tavern, which still hasn't opened its doors for the day. I hate to ask you to do this, but would you please? The boy's voice seemed to have carried inside. A man in the tavern peels off a drunken howl. He sounds especially bad today. Kaim fights back a sigh and enters the tavern. The man on the bar stool is the boy's father, drunk again at midday. The boy is here to take him home. He looks at his father with sad eyes. Kaim puts his arm around the father's shoulder and discreetly moves the whiskey bottle away from him. Let's call it a day, he says. The man shoves Kaim's arm off and slumps down on the bar. I hate guys like you, he says. Yes, I know, says Kaim. It's time to go home, though. You've had enough. You heard me, Kaim Drifter. I hate you guys. I really, really, really hate you guys. The father is always like this when he is drunk, hurling curses at all drifters, picking fights with any man dressed for the road, and finally slumping to the ground to sleep it off. His son is too small to drag him home. With a sigh, Kaim finds himself again today supporting the drunken father's weight to keep him from toppling off the bar stool. The boy stares at his father, his eyes a jumble of sadness, anger, and pity. When his eyes meet Kaim's, he shrugs as if to say, "Sorry to keep putting you through this." But Kaim is used to it. He has seen the father dead drunk almost every day for the past year, ever since the boy and his father were left to live alone. Oh well, the boy says with a strained smile as if trying to resign himself to the situation. Poor Papa. Poor me. Supporting the father's weight on his shoulder, Kaim gives the boy a smile and says, "Yes, but you don't go out and get drunk the way he does." Ahem, the boy says, puffing his chest out. Sometimes kids are tougher than grown-ups. Kaim broadens his smile to signal to him, "You're right." Of course I'm right, the boy all but says with the smile he gives back. It is the only kind of smile the 10-year-old has managed to produce in the past year. So bitter it would numb your tongue if you could taste it. The boy's mother, the father's wife, left home a year ago. She fell in love with a traveling salesman and abandoned the boy and his father. Mama was bored, the boy says matter-of-factly, looking back on his mother's infidelity. She got tired of doing the same thing every day. That's when she met him. At the tender age of 10, the boy has learned that there are certain stories that have to be told with that matter-of-fact tone. The father was born and raised in this small town and worked in the town office. He was not especially talented, but it was not a job that called for talent or a quick wit. All he had to do was follow orders with diligence and submissiveness, and he did exactly that, year after year, without making waves. He called our life peaceful, but Mama didn't think so. She said it was just ordinary and no fun. She was attracted to the life of the crafty traveling salesman. It was risky and exciting, like walking on top of a prison wall. One misstep and you could end up inside. Papa told Mama that the man was deceiving her, that all he wanted was her money. But he couldn't get through to her. Mama couldn't even think about us back then. With utter detachment, as though holding it at arm's length, the boy reflects on the tragedy that struck his family. I've heard the saying, love is blind. It really is, he says with a shrug and a sardonic laugh, like a full-fledged adult. Kaim says nothing. Children should act their age, is another saying, but probably not one that could be spoken with a great deal of meaning to a boy who had lost his mother's love. And even if Kaim presumed to admonish him, the boy would likely pass it off with a strange smile and say, "Sometimes kids are tougher than grown-ups." The boy's father, however, shows his displeasure when his son uses grown-up expressions. The little twerp's lost all his boyishness. He despises me now. He thinks I'm pitiful. Deep down, he's laughing at me for letting my wife be taken by another man. Damn him. It bothers him especially when he is drunk. His annoyance far outweighs his fatherly love for his son. Sometimes he even slaps the boy across the face, or tries to. When he is drunk, the boy can easily dodge his slaps, and he ends up sprawled on the floor. Even as he is drowning in a sea of liquor, he can sometimes turn unexpectedly serious and start asking questions. "Say, Kaim, you've been traveling for a long time, right?" "Uh-huh." "Do you enjoy it all that much? Going to strange towns, meeting strangers can't be all that. Is it so wonderful that you've been willing to abandon the life you're living now for it?" He asks the same thing over and over. Kaim's answer is always the same. Sometimes it's enjoyable, and sometimes it's not. He doesn't know what else to say. "You know, Kaim, I've never set foot outside this town. Same with my father and my grandfather and my great-grandfather and the one before him. We've always been born here and died here. My wife's family too. They've had roots in this town for generations. So why did she do it? Why did she leave? What did she need so badly that she had to leave me and her own son?" Kai merely smiles without answering. The answer to such a question cannot be conveyed in words. Try though he might to explain it, the reason certain people are drawn irresistibly to the road can never be understood by people who don't have that impulse. The father is simply one of those people who can never understand. Failing to elicit a reply from Kaim, the father sinks again and into the sea of drunkenness. "I'm scared, Kaim," he says. "My son might do it too. He might go away and leave me here someday. When I hear him talking like a grown-up, I get so scared I can't stand it." The boy's mother eventually comes back. The traveling salesman cheated her out of every last bit of her savings, and the moment she was no longer of any use to him, he left her. Physically and mentally broken, she has only one place to return to, the home she abandoned. First, she writes a letter from the neighboring town, and when her husband reads it again and again through drink-clouded eyes, he laughs derisively. Served her right, the miserable witch. He makes a show of tearing the letter to pieces in front of Kaim without showing it to his son. Kaim tells the boy everything and asks him, "What do you want to do? Whatever you decide, I'll help you make it happen." "Whatever I decide?" the boy asks in return with his usual detached smile. "If you want to leave this town, I'll let you have enough money to help you get by for a while," Kaim says. "I can do that much." He is utterly serious. The father has no intention of forgiving his wife. He will almost certainly turn her away if she shows up, and probably with a proud, vindictive smile on his face. Kaim knows, however, that if the mother loses her home and leaves this town once and for all, the father will go back to drinking every day, cursing his wife's infidelity, bemoaning his own fate, taking out his anger on strangers, and constantly revealing the worst side of himself to his son. Kaim's long life on the road has taught him this. Constant travel means meeting many different people, and the boy's father is undoubtedly one of the weakest men Kaim has ever met. You could join your mother and go to another town. Or if you wanted to go somewhere by yourself, I could find you work. Either would be better, Kaim believes. Oh. Then for the boy to continue living alone like this with his father. The boy, however, seemingly intrigued. Oh, darn it. Sorry. Give me 1 second, guys. My USB wanted to freak out on me. How dare it. Sorry, you didn't see me mess up. Don't worry. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. Hello. Please notice me. Hello. Okay, I'm not fine. I'm not fine. I can't make her move. Hello. There we go. Okay. Notice me, USB senpai. Darn USB. There we go. Okay, sorry, it was starting to make that stuttering sound, and I don't want that to break the immersion, although I already broke the immersion. Such is the way of me. I love that distant way. Way. Okay, we're back. Okay. Where were we? The boy, however, seemingly intrigued, looks straight at Kaim, revealing his white teeth. You've been traveling a long time, haven't you, Kaim? Uh-huh. Always alone? Sometimes alone, sometimes not. The boy gives a little nod and, with the sad smile of a grown-up, says, You really don't get it, do you? What's that? All this traveling, and you still don't understand the most important thing. His sad smile takes on its usual bitter edge. Kaim finally learns what the boy is talking about 3 days later. A tired-looking woman in tattered clothes drags herself from the highway into the marketplace. The townsfolk back away from her, staring, leaving her in the center of a broad, empty circle. The boy's mother has come back. The boy breaks his way through the crowd and enters the circle. The mother sees her son, and her travel-withered cheeks break into a smile. The boy takes one step and another step toward his immense... The boy takes one step and another step toward his emaciated... I don't know what that means. Smiling mother. Sorry. He is hesitant at first, but from the third step he is running, and he throws his arms around her. He is crying. He is smiling. For the first time that Kaim has seen, he wears the unclouded smile of a child. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. His mother begs in tears. She clasps his head to her bosom and says, smiling through her tears. You've gotten so big. Then she adds, I won't leave you again. I'll stay here forever. A stir goes through the crowd. It comes from the direction of the tavern. Now the father breaks through the wall of people and enters the circle. He is drunk. Stumbling, he edges towards his wife and son. He glares at his wife. The boy stands between them, guarding his mother. Papa, stop it, he yells. Mama is back. That's enough, isn't it? Forgive her. Papa, please. His voice choked with tears. The father says nothing in reply. Glaring at the two of them, he collapses to his knees, his arms open wide. He enfolds both his wife and son. The shattered family is one again. Papa, please, don't hold us so tight. It hurts. The boy is crying and smiling. The mother can only sob. The father weeps in his rage. Witnessing the scene from the back of the crowd, Kaim turns on his heels. Are you really leaving? The boy asks again and again as he accompanies Kaim to the edge of the town. Uh-huh. I want to get across the ocean before winter sets in. Papa is already missing you. He says he thought you two could finally become drinking buddies from now on. You can drink with him when you grow up. When I grow up, huh? The boy cocks his head, a little embarrassed, then he mutters, I wonder if I'll still be living in this town. No one knows that, of course. Maybe some years from now, the father will spend his days drunk again because his son has left his hometown and family. And yet, Kaim recalls something he forgot to say to the boy's weak father. We call it a journey because we have a place to come home to. No matter how many detours or mistakes a person might make, as long as he has a place to come home to, a person can always start again. I don't get it, says the boy. Kaim remembers something else. Smile for me, he says one last time, placing a hand on the boy's shoulder. Like this, he reveals his white teeth and his cheeks wrinkled up. It's a good smile. He has finally managed to retrieve the smile of a young boy. Now your turn, Kaim. Sure. The boy studied Kaim's smile as if assigning it a grade. Maybe a little sad, he says. That he is joking makes his words hit home all the more. The boy smiles again as if providing a model for Kaim. Okay then, he says with a wave of the hand. I'm going shopping with Papa and Mama today. Kaim smiles back and walks away. Then he hears the boy calling his name one last time. Even if we're saying goodbye, I'm not going to cry, Kaim. Sometimes kids are tougher than grown-ups. Kaim does not look back. His only reply a wave of the hand. The boy's expression would probably change if their eyes met. He decided to play it strong to the end. Kaim walks on. After a brief respite, his journey with no place to go home to starts again. A journey with no place to go home to. The poets call that wandering. The end. I'm so sorry, I keep ruining these stories. So sad. feel so bad that I am. Silently sorry. Sorry, don't sorry. No, no, it's okay. It's okay, little gems. It's okay, it's okay. I'm here, I'm here. It's okay, it's okay. Wipe those little tears, my little gems. Wipe, wipe, wipe. For anybody who just followed, thank you so much for the follow. I hope you enjoy those fishy kissies. They are the best kissies you'll ever get. Mwah! Danke, danke. And for those who are just tuning in, we are just reading some short stories from a game called Lost Odyssey. So, just doing that. How are the little gems doing? I'm quite torn about the story. It hits home more than I can't say with certainty. Could be as forgiven as his father. No, that's okay. This one is definitely a very it's a story that can hit or miss for this one. Don't worry, I have kind of a similarity to this story as well. And it's definitely a hard one to kind of like, it is hard to forgive sometimes. So, don't worry. No, this one is definitely a tricky one to kind of wrap your head around. Oh, so new folks can say, oh, I didn't realize that. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Okay, good. I'm glad you pinned it. Alright, little gems, are y'all ready for the next story? We're almost to the new stories that we haven't read yet, actually. The next one is actually the one that made us all cry at the end. And I will already tell you guys, this one is probably going to be a tearjerker for a lot of us. It might make me cry too. If there are new followers, should I thank them while you read? Yeah, you can definitely do that if you'd like. That's quite alright, but you're more than welcome to. But just a god here. Thank you so much for the follow. I hope you enjoy those fishy kissies. Best kissies you'll ever get. And thank you for the stretch, by the way. You should try to ask Chat GPT to write you a story about whatever, then read it on. Oh, that actually would be a cute idea. We could definitely do something like that. That actually would be nice. They have to be actual stories, because I have a feeling people would be like, pee pee this, pee pee that. But that's actually a cute little thought. I actually like that. A little story time with all the little stories the gems created. That definitely would have to be probably later on, because I don't know how many people would actually do it or follow to it. So, but I like that idea a lot. We got another stretch and a kiss where I'm not sure if you've... No, I haven't. I did the stretch. Who was the kiss for? What was the kiss for? Oh, I stretch again though. Oh, here's the kiss. Kiss is just for Spencer. Hopefully you're still here. I saw you. Alright, how are you guys doing? You still with me, little gems? I know some of you are probably getting sleepy. Hopefully these are kind of helping you get sleepy too, actually. Comfy? Good. Glad you're comfy. And sleepy, yes. Glad you're sleepy too. Yes. Sleepy and comfy. Best combo. Nah, not sleepy anymore. Not sleepy anymore. No. Little rabbit, no. But comfy. Okay, good. Enough of us would join in that endeavor. Custom stories time. We could actually do something like that. I might have my mods create a little area in the server to where you can write little stories if you'd like. And then we can try to read them one night on Sunday story time. Because for all the new people and my old little gems, I used to do Sunday story times on ASMR streams. We had to kind of get away from them for a while, but I'd like to bring them back. So we're going to continue on Sunday story streams, and that actually is a cute idea. So if one of my mods would like to do that and announce it on the server, that way, people know, they can start writing little stories on there, and they might have to do like on a notepad or something, because I believe if it's too long, Discord isn't going to, do it all. So they'll have to write it on like a notepad or something like that, and then paste it on there. So just kind of remind them that one too. That way they're not just typing in Discord and then Discord's like, "Oh, you surpassed the 300 countdown. You can't write anymore." Okay, it'll happen. Also, let me do something real quick. Let me check real quick. While we're... Okay, let me do this real fast, just out of curiosity. I'm breaking. Oh, the limit's 2,000? I didn't know that. This is such a scum. It's so scum. Oh gosh, I'm being attacked by a demon. No, oh no. I can't. Hello? I'm being attacked. There you go. Okay, I'm fine again. Sorry about that. I had to do something real quick. Hopefully you guys are okay. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. Okay, I was gonna say, no. Okay, let me check and make sure this is working. There you go. Alright. We're gonna go ahead and get the next story. This was our last one that we did last time, so this one is a good one. Tear jerky, so brace yourselves, my little gems. Everyone in the marketplace hates the little girl. Not yet 10 years old, and far from having outgrown the sweet innocence of childhood, she earns only open contempt from the grown-ups who have shops in the market. The reason is simple. She lies about everything. Hey, mister, I just saw a burglar go into your house. Look, lady, everything just fell off your shelves. Hey, everybody, did you hear what the traveler said? Bandits are planning to attack this market. Even the most harmless white lies can be annoying if repeated often enough. And the shopkeepers have found themselves growing angry. You better watch out for her too, the lady greengrocer warns Kime. Nobody here falls for her lies anymore, so she's always on the lookout for newcomers or strangers. Somebody like you would be a perfect target for her. She could be right. Kime is new to the town. He arrived a few days ago and has just started working in the marketplace today. What do her parents do? Kime asks while unloading a cart full of vegetables. The woman frowns and shakes her head with a sigh. She doesn't have any. They died? The mother did, at least. Maybe 4 or 5 years ago. She was a healthy young woman who never so much as caught a cold in her life. Then one day she collapsed, and that was it for her. How about the father? She sighs more deeply than before and says, he left to find a job in the city. The parents used to operate a variety store in the market, though the mother almost single-handedly took care of the actual buying and selling of the many goods they carried. As soon as she died, the shop's fortunes took a plunge until it was eventually taken over by someone else. The father went off to the distant capital city in search of a good-paying job that would enable him to cover their debts. He promised to come back in 6 months, but he has been gone a whole year now. Letters used to arrive from him on occasion care of his friend the tailor, but those too gave out about 6 months ago. I guess you could say it's sad for such a little girl to be waiting around for her father to come home. But still. The girl now sleeps in a corner of the communal storehouse run by the people of the marketplace. We all used to talk about taking care of her, to be stand-in parents for her until her father comes back. This is no surprise to Kime. He knows from his own experience that all the people who work in the marketplace, and not just this plump, kindly woman, are good-hearted and generous despite their limited means. Otherwise, they never would have hired a stranger like him. But long before that first 6 months went by, we were all heartily sick of her. Why is everything causing me to stop? I smell weed. I'll be right back, cause I'm all alone in my house, and I need to go see why there's that. I'll be right back. Be right back. Okay, I am back. That was weird. I think one of the neighbors or something, like my backyard neighbors, because it's very faint. It's like nowhere around the rest of the house. It's just next to my screen door. So just weird, but nobody's around. I was about to message Guardian and be like, just be wary, just in case. But don't worry, I'm fine. Don't worry. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Just needed to check that, because, kinda need to watch out. Alright, let's continue on our story about the little girl who lies. Oh yeah, it's gone now. That's weird. Yeah, it's the smell is gone now. I think it was just for that moment. Let's see. Where are we? But long before that first 6 months went by, we were all heartily sick of her. She was a sweet, simple girl while her mother was alive, but this experience has left her kind of twisted. All of her sweetness is gone. Of course, we all feel sorry for her, and we take our time feeding her and dressing her in hand-me-downs. But the way she keeps telling lies to all the grown-ups, nobody really cares about her anymore. Why can't she see that? She must be lonely, don't you think? With a pained smile, the woman shrugs and says, "That's enough gabbing for one day. Work, work." And she goes back inside the shop. Kaim is sorting the vegetables he has unloaded in front of the shop when he hears a little voice behind him. "Hi, mister. You new here?" It's the girl. "Uh-huh. You're not from the town, are you?" "No, I'm not." "Are you living upstairs while you work here?" "For a while at least. That's what I'm supposed to do. Or that's what I'm hoping to do." "I'll tell you a secret, okay?" It's starting already. "Okay," Kaim says without pausing in his work. "There's a ghost in this marketplace. The people here don't tell anybody about it because it's bad for business. But it's really here. I see it all the time." "Really?" Kaim responds with feigned surprise. He decides to play along with her rather than scold her for lying. In this endlessly long life of his, he has encountered any number of children who have lost their parents or been abandoned by them. The sadness and loneliness of children who have been cast into the wide world alone are exactly what Kaim feels himself as he continues to wander through the infinite flow of time. "What kind of ghost?" "A woman, and I know who she is." "It's the ghost of a mother who lost her child," she says. "Her little girl, her only child, died in an epidemic. Overcome with grief, the mother chose to die, and now her ghost appears in the market every night, searching for her daughter." "The poor mother! She killed herself so she could be with her daughter, but she can't find her in the other world either. So she keeps looking for her and calling out, 'Where are you? Hurry and come with mommy to the other world.'" The girl tells her story with deadly seriousness. "Don't you think it's sad?" she asks Kaim. She actually has tears in her eyes, which is precisely why Kaim knows she is lying. Even if he had not been warned by the woman, he would know this was a lie based on what she told him about the girl's background. Kaim carefully arranges bunches of well-ripened grapes in a display crate and asks the girl, "Why do you think the mother can't find her daughter?" "What?" the girl asks him in a dazed stare. "Well," he explains, "the girl is not in the other world, and she's not wandering around in this world. So where is she?" Kaim does not mean this to be a cross-examination. He simply feels that someone who lies out of sorrow can have a far easier time of it by recognizing the lie for what it is. The loneliness of a girl who has lost her mother and been abandoned by her father consists not in telling one little lie, but in having to keep on lying. Now that you mention it, that's a good point," the girl says, smiling calmly. "Really, where did the girl go?" Kai momentarily considered pointing at the girl as if to say, "Right here." But before he can do so, she continues, "This is the first time anybody ever asked me that. You're kind of different. I wonder." "No, No, you are. You're different, the girl insists. I think we can be friends, her smile deepens. Kaim smiles back at her, saying nothing. Just then, they hear the lady greengrocer coming from the back of the shop, and the girl dashes away. Just before she disappears around a corner into the alleyway, the girl gives Kaim a little wave as if to say, "See you soon." For the first time, the face of the girl with the all too grown-up speaking style shows a hint of childness befitting her years. The girl begins coming to see Kaim at the shop several times a day when the greengrocer is not around. She tells him one lie after another. I baked cookies with my mother last night. I wanted to give you some, but they were so good I ate them all. Bandits kidnapped me when I was a little baby, but my father came to save me and beat up all the bandits, so I didn't get killed. My house? It's a big white one at the foot of the mountain. You're new here, so you probably don't know it. It's the biggest house in town. You don't have a family? You're all alone? Poor Kaim. I wish I could share some of my happiness with you. All her lies are born of sorrow. Sad, lonely lies she could never tell to the marketplace people who know her background. At the end of every chat with Kaim, as she is leaving, the girl holds her finger to her lips and says, "This is just our little secret. Don't tell the lady grocer." Of course, Kaim says nothing to anyone. If he happens to find himself in a situation where the market people are speaking ill of the girl, he quietly slips away. Lies and disparagements are funny things. They don't take shape because someone tells them, but rather because someone listens to and voices agreement with them. A truly isolated individual can never speak ill of anyone. The same can be said regarding lies. Because she has someone to tell her lies to, the girl need not fall into the abyss of true isolation. To protect her small, sad share of happiness, Kaim plays the role of her listener, raising no objections. One day, when the girl comes to see Kaim, she takes special care not to be noticed by the lady grocer or by the owners of the neighboring shops. Tell me, mister, are you planning to stay here a long, long time? No, I'm not, Kaim says, continuing to unload vegetables and fruit. You'll be leaving when you save up enough money? Probably. But you don't have enough yet? I'm getting there, he says, turning a strained smile on the girl. This is a white lie of his own. He already has enough money to support himself on the road. Nor has he taken his current live-in job because he needs money so badly. He is here because he has not found a destination he wants to travel to. A journey without a destination is an endless journey. Wise men say that you need dreams and goals in life. But dreams to accomplish and goals to realize shine as guideposts in life precisely because life is finite. So then, what should be the dreams and goals of one who has been burdened with a life that has no end? Kaim is not a journey to be hurried, nor is it one that can be hurried. Perhaps drifting day after day with no destination cannot even be called a journey. I can hear the little USB freaking out already. You know what, hang on. Darn USB. Yep, it freaked out. As soon as I said that, it freaked out. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, my little gems. This is not how I wanted story time to be. I just wanted to work. Just work for me. Work for me. Yes. Yes, work for me. Thank you. My glob. Okay, it's back. Should be fine now. As long as the USB doesn't freak out. That is. Yeah, it's the USB likes to do that. Darn USB. Okay, back to our story. If I were you, if I were you, says the girl, I would get out of this marketplace as soon as I had saved up enough for 2 or 3 days of traveling. Kime responds to her with a silent pained smile. What would be the look on the girl's face if Kime were to tell her, I'm staying here for you? I am finding the meaning of my life for now and providing you with a listener of your lies? The moment these words come to mind, words he can never actually speak to her, the girl looks around furtively and says in a near whisper, if you want to get out of here soon, I know a good way you can do it. A good way? Sneak into the tailor's and steal his money. There's a little pot in the cabinet at the back of the shop. It's full of money. Are you telling me to steal it? Yes. She looks straight at Kime without the slightest show of doubt in her eyes. In all seriousness, she goes on to explain, that tailor deserves to have his place robbed. The money in the pot, she says, is tainted. I know this girl, a good friend of mine, she says, and it's so sad about her. Her mother died, and her father went off to work in the capital, and she's all alone. Her father was supposed to come home and get her after 6 months, but she hasn't heard a thing from him. Yet another lie born of sorrow. Kime calmly asks, is there some connection between your friend and the tailor? Of course, she says, a close connection. What's really happening is the father was sending her money every month the way he was supposed to help make her life in the town a little easier. And he kept writing to her. He wanted to tell her he found a good job in the city and she could come to live with him right away. He's too busy to come for her, so she could come to him. And he sent her money for the trip. But none of the letters or the money ever reached the girl. And why do you think that? Before Kime can answer, the girl says, the mistake he made was to send the letters and money care of the tailor. He's been keeping all the money for himself. Kime looks away from the girl. In order to prop up one sad lie, the girl has piled on a still sadder one, a lie that can hurt another person. This is the saddest thing of all. The lock on the tailor's back door would be really easy to break, the girl adds, and she gallops away without waiting for Kime's reply. The girl comes running into the grocery store the next morning, shouting for the owner. She says directly to the woman, not to Kime. Burglars broke into the tailor's shop last night. She says she saw a number of burglars sneaking in late at night after the markets sorry, I'm tongue-tied. After the marketplace emptied out. My, oh my, says the woman with a forced smile. That must have been just terrible. She is obviously not taking the girl seriously. But it's true, though. I really saw them. Look, little girl, I've just had about all I can take from you. You're such a little liar. It scares me to death to think about you growing up to be a burglar or a con artist or something. I'm busy trying to open my shop now. Do you mind? Try it on somebody else. She is hardly through speaking when someone outside shouts, "Help! Somebody help!" The tailor is standing in the street, looking horrified and screaming at the top of his lungs. "But burglars! They took all my money!" The little girl slips away as the tailor comes in. The marketplace is in an uproar. The girl was not lying. That much is certain. But all too accustomed to her lies, people now suggest the possibility of another kind of lie. Maybe she did it. What do you think? And so it begins. I think you may be right. Talk about play acting. I wouldn't put it past her. Let's go find her. We'll make her tell, even if we have to get a little rough with her. No one objects to this suggestion. Some run off to the storehouse, and others start searching the marketplace. Can't find her anywhere. The storehouse is empty. She ran away with the money. As the searchers return with their reports and speculation, Kime finally understands everything. After all her sad lies, the girl has left behind one final truth. She couldn't have gotten very far. Yeah, we can still catch her. The little thief. Wait till I get my hands on her. The men rage, and the women fan the flames. Good. Give her what she deserves. We were so nice to her, and now look how she treats us. We can't let her get away with it. A dozen men start to run after her. But Kime stands tall in the road, blocking their way. Hey, move it! The men are out for blood, but Kime knows if he felt like it, he could knock them all down, and they wouldn't be able to lay a finger on him. Instead, he relaxes his powerful stance and throws a leather coin pouch on the ground in front of the men. The stolen money is in there, he says. What? Sorry, I stole it. A confused stir quickly turns into angry shouts. Kime raises his hands to show he will not resist. Do what you like with me, I'm ready. The lady grocer breaks through the wall of men, shouting at him. How could you do this, Kime? I wanted the money, that's all. And you're not just saying this to protect the girl? The woman's intuition is too sharp. Forcing a smile, Kime turns to the tailor and says, It was in the pot in the cabinet, right? The man nods energetically. It's true. He must have done it. I had the money in the pot. He's the thief. The money wasn't the only thing in the pot, though, was it? What are you saying? You had some letters in there, too. Letters from the girl's father? That's a lie. Don't be crazy. It's true, though. No, there couldn't have been any letters. I threw them all... The tailor clasps his hands over his mouth. But it is too late. The lady grocer glares at him. What's this all about? She demands. No, I mean, you'd better tell us everything. The people's angry glances turn from Kime to the tailor. Some days later, 2 letters arrived from the girl addressed to the lady at the grocery store and the nice man upstairs. Kime's letter says the girl managed to find her father in the capital. He has no way of knowing if this is true or not. It is hard to imagine a little girl finding her father in the big city so easily without knowing his address or workplace. Still, he decides to believe it when the girl's letter says, I am happy now. Human beings are the only animals that lie. Lies to deceive people, lies to benefit oneself, and lies to protect one's own heart from the threat of crushing loneliness and sorrow. If there were no lies in this world, much strife and misunderstanding would surely disappear. On the other hand, perhaps it is because this world is a mixture of truth and lies that people have learned how to believe. When he is through reading his letter, Kime turns to the woman. Concentrating on her own letter, she shyly raises her brow when she senses Kime looking at her. I give up, she declares. Listen to this. I am so grateful to you and the others in the marketplace for all you have done for me. I will never forget you as long as I live. A liar to the bitter end, that girl, she says, smiling through her tears. The end. How are all my little gems doing? How my baby gems doing? Pepper crab. You made the channel Kai, yay! Good. Also, thank you for the stretch. That was a damn good story. Keep reading. No, that can't be. No, that is the end. That's the end of The Little Liar. She's happy now. She found her place. Yay! That is a good thing, right, little gems? You have to be happy for the for the little girl. Where's the drink? No, it's because I'm going to drink on my own. I don't feel like having it redeemed while we're reading. But thank you for the stretch, Drew. I did take it. You guys are being so sweet, by the way. Thank you for letting me read. Tell us another story, Mommy Ari. Oh, Mommy Ari. That actually made me smile, sorry. Y'all are cute. I did cry from the first sentence on when you read that everyone hated her. Aw, but you saw that it was a happy ending though. Sweet little girl, but not as sweet as you. Oh, that's so sweet. No, she's sweet. So,